Hello, everybody. My name is Kevin from PWX Ring Crew, and you're watching the Indy-Vision podcast, episode 2. I'm always joined by my fabulous colleague. I mean, you could call him fabulous, and that is Eric Johnson.
What is
How's it going?
going on here? Man, it's nice to be back after Logan X. That was a good episode. Yes, I am now the assistant CEO of PWX, Eric Johnson, and it just feels damn good. Aaron Lester giving me a second chance. I've been able to get a couple of creative things going here in the mix, so this is some good stuff.
By the way, didn't you have to beg and plead for that job,
Whoa,
though?
whoa, whoa, hold on. There was no begging and pleading, okay?
I
Aaron clearly seen the genius that I had right in here.
From what I remember, you were publicly fired on Facebook and then showed up at the show that you were not allowed to be at, meaning that you no longer work there and were told you weren't allowed in the building. Somehow you got in and got down on your hands and knees and begged for your job, for a
Listen,
job.
okay? We all know that PWX has security problems. We know this, okay? Everyone knows this stuff. That's why Aaron has put me in charge of that. I'm making sure that security will be right, will be done right at shows. And that is the exact reason I brought up that issue as soon as he made me that spot.
I mean, no matter what the case was, congratulations. I will be a bigger person and actually say congrats on the position.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But we're not here to talk about you right now, unfortunately.
Fortunately.
We are here to talk about our guest, the man, the myth, the legend, in some people's minds, at least his own, Derek Wayne.
You look oddly familiar to me.
Derek, where are you right now?
Oh, where am I? Does this ring a bell to anybody? Does this chair that R.K. Sawyer once sat in, does this ring a bell to anybody?
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. Calm
That
down,
was,
Wayne.
Derek, a little crazy there, man. How you doing?
Yeah, you good?
Woo.
How am I doing? How am I doing? Where were you on February 3rd? No, February 4th. My bad. I got it all mixed up because while you were able to find your way back in, Eric Johnson, I was kept out.
I'm very sorry for that.
Yeah, about that, since I have both of you here, what's the deal with that? Because EJ, you were the referee of that match, which ended in some controversy. Seems to be, yeah, that's pretty much the big question. Why? Why does it look like you two are working together? And why do you guys seem like now you're not having the best of times?
I don't know, EJ. Why don't you tell him?
I guess, maybe a little bit of personal bias for me was in that match because, you see, I see people like Derek Wayne who work hard and get treated like crap. I thought maybe he should earn a shot to get some gold, and, well, I got punished for it. But turns out Aaron likes my decision-making. He thinks that I'm on his level in terms of being a CEO. So, listen, I know you're a bit upset, Derek, and as assistant CEO, I have some power here. I think I can do that.
With the money
I'm
I
going to
gave
reinstate you.
Hey. Oh, you're going to reinstate me?
Yes. I'm going to reinstate you right here.
I have a question
right
to
now.
ask you, Eric Johnson.
What?
Are you reinstating me because it was your idea? Or are you reinstating me because they understand that there is no PWX without Derek Wayne?
This is my idea. 100%. Even Aaron tells you, will even tell you himself that I am a very smart man.
I think he's reinstating you because he's afraid because he blew all the money you gave him. Because I did hear Derek mention something about money. I feel this is about play.
Was that your influence? Or was it the influence that I handed you to get the job done?
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
But Derek, if I'm not mistaken, that's not the reason you were suspended. What was this about you going rogue and attacking former PWX wrestler Chris Killian?
Chris Killian. Chris Killian, man. I thought I'd never have to hear his name again after what I did to him. But you know what? And I was given instructions to apologize. I'll apologize for not doing it sooner.
Chris Killian's been away from PWX for a while. How did you get him to a point where you could attack him? In what regard did you feel you needed to do that?
You see, he came in from Kansas so that he could go see all his friends that he left behind, me being one of them. But you see, the problem is you don't leave Derek Wayne behind. Remember that, Eric Johnson. You don't leave Derek Wayne behind. You see, the problem is that Chris Killian had a little problem running his mouth. I remember there was a point in my career, because I had my own demons before coming in here. I remember he was able to catch on to wrestling a lot quicker. We were both trainees, the same training school. But for some reason, he was favored. And when we came in discussing about being friends, being a tag team, because we knew each other long before wrestling. I knew Chris Killian before he was Chris Killian, and he knew Derek Wayne before I became Derek Wayne. He forgets that. I don't. So when he wants to come in goodwill and say hello to everybody that he left behind, I just figured that I was going to show up and remind him of some of those things that he said.
Now, you keep saying you guys have a shared background and past, but what is the past of Derek Wayne? You kind of came out of nowhere as a referee, then a commentator, and then I'll give you the credit. You worked your way up to being in the ring with the rest of the guys. I haven't reached that point yet, but I hope to one day. Tell me, as somebody who started off as part of everything else, to get to that point, what made Derek Wayne Derek Wayne?
What made Derek Wayne is that Derek Wayne stopped listening to what everybody around him told him. You see, I was told when I got into this business I would never make it. I was told that I'd never make it on a show, and then I became a referee, and I became the best damn referee they ever had. That is a fact. They told me that I would never sell. Meanwhile, I've been one of the most featured superstars on that roster. Nobody can lay claim to what I've done, and yet everybody still wants to discredit me. I was told I would never make it in the ring as a wrestler. And then I was told that I'd never be more than somebody being sent out to get killed by the big guys. You see, the fact of the matter is that every single instance of that, I tried listening, I tried doing what I was told, and it got me nowhere. Meanwhile, when I go ahead and do things on my own, because the powers that be don't want Derek Wayne to succeed, because Derek Wayne is a man on a mission. Because I see the problems. I see all the problems that float around PWX. And Derek, I'm not even going to sit here and try to act like I'm some kind of martyr. I'm not your damn hero. I'm doing this all for me. And at least I'm upfront about it, unlike some people. So,
now,
go ahead.
Derek, a few questions for you specifically pertaining to everything as a whole. For one, you said you're done doing it the way people tell you to do it, in a sense. Does that go back anywhere, like in your past, that has gotten you to this point of being so angry and bitter at the world?
Anybody remember Derek Wayne's debut match? Because I do.
I can't say I do.
Exactly.
I can't remember either.
You see, Derek Wayne's first one-on-one wrestling match, and that's not even the debut. Let's go back to the debut. October 30th of 2021. That was the night that I came in, and yeah, I kind of did things my way. I demanded a match. the man that we know as Aaron Lester today, Stefan Devereaux back then, sent the Ram out. You know, they say that Monster Bash, that it was all randomly selected participants, random selection in how they come out to the ring. How did he know that the Ram was going to be the first one to walk through the curtain? Can you tell me that? I'd like to know that. Can you tell me why they didn't even ring the bell until he speared me? I didn't even have a chance to say that I was ready. I turned around, I got speared, the bell rang, they dumped me in less than 30 seconds.
You know, now that you mention it, I think I was the official for that match.
Why'd you ring the bell, Eric?
I have to apologize. I was told to by my boss at the time.
Exactly! You did what you were told! That was my problem too, because after that, I decided to go to bat for PWX against Fight Society, against the Plague of Corvus. I went and I did the right thing, and it got me nowhere!
I will give you the credit, Derek. I did pay attention with the going to bat against Fight Society. That was, even for me, I was shocked at the actions of James Ellsworth against you. And then from there, the Plague of Corvus, it kind of started off with them harassing you, but you did get some retribution in that.
Exactly. Which is why we're all here, ain't it? Because I started doing things my way after being fed to the Ram for a second time. And I tried to do things to make everybody happy because that's the way I was told to do it. I was told to be nice. I was told maybe if I didn't have such a bad attitude, that maybe I'd get somewhere. And I went in with my goodwill, and it got me squashed in 5 minutes. So I stopped doing things their way. That very night, how are you boys feeling, Anthony Drake? I remember you singing a little different octave at the end of that night. You might have won the match. It's funny because we could run back because that just came up in one of my memories not too long ago. It was almost a year ago today that night happened. Since then, look at how far I've come. Nobody thought that I would make it this far. Nobody in the crowd, nobody in the back, nobody in the front office. I made my way here. And everything started turning around after the last time that we were in here. After I took down the biggest monster. Nobody wants to give me credit for that. RK Sawyer that you know today is the RK Sawyer that I told everybody that he could be. And everybody laughed in my face and tried to say that I'm taking credit for something that wasn't me. It was 100% Derek effing Wayne.
And Derek, I'm not going to argue that. I mean, look at what you, and I will say this, in your defense, all the things you were able to accomplish so far, you were the most hated as well as the Rookie of the Year, which you now use the moniker Most Hated Rookie of the Year. You were able to take it to Sawyer, get one over on him, and you did create this monster. I watched everything play out on the PWX Facebook page. We all saw it, and we saw the former PWX podcast, and we saw it all. We saw all of it play out, Derek. You also were able to take it to the Plague. You were able to take it to the Ram. You were able to dish things back. I will give you all that credit. Now, will I make your head inflate again like the old Derek before he had a new change of attitude? I'm not going to give you it all because some of your actions have been uncalled for. But
Uncalled for. What's been uncalled for?
I think kidnapping a man and torturing him in a basement.
Oh, you mean the same thing that he did to Pav Novak? Sorry I didn't pour bleach in his eye. Sorry, instead, I took a power drill, and well, I'll let you imagine the rest.
Yeah, I don't even know if I want to imagine that.
Yeah, yeah, some people would say that that's going a bit far, even
A bit
in the
far.
long run.
A bit far. No. I did what I had to do. Because the fact of the matter is that if I never did that, nobody would even think twice about Derek Wayne. And that's the problem, because the front office never wanted people to think about Derek Wayne.
You see
Derek
that?
Wayne was never supposed to make it. And Derek Wayne gave the middle finger and proceeded anyway.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Your relationship with Aaron Lester, FKA, Stefan Devro, it seems to have been a while now. What did you do coming up that immediately pretty much pissed in his Wheaties?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's the fact that I went after a certain member of the management's child, because I don't consider him a man. I don't know if maybe it's because of what I did to Chris Killian, which he got what was coming to him. Matter of fact, it was almost a year ago that I even said that if Chris Killian ever made it back to PWX in any shape or form, I was going to beat his ass all over the building. And you see, unfortunately, because they say that the imagery is too graphic for any person to watch, that match is not being aired. It is under investigation right now. Sorry, not sorry. The only thing I apologize for is the fact that all of you people can't see it, so all you people can't know what I'm really capable of. But I'll show you in time. Don't worry, sweethearts. I think it's more along the lines of the constant being held back. Nobody wanted Derek Wayne to be where he is except Derek Wayne. Just remember, when everybody realizes how much of a star I am, when everybody realizes how much of a champion I really am, even though they won't let it happen, just remember, before you start latching on to me like a bunch of leeches, sucking the blood out of me because I'm red hot, just remember, I made it here not because of you. I made it here because I wanted to be here. And I didn't give a damn what anybody else had to think about it.
Now, Derek, with this, you keep making reference that you got here because you wanted to. Can you give us another look into your past before we move on to some of your other opponents? Because there's a lot of hatred in you that even stem from the very beginning. What makes Derek Wayne want to be a wrestler in the first place? What is the story of Derek Wayne?
Could you imagine being a child and being told your entire childhood that everything you want to do and everything you want to be is wrong? You go to the schools. A young Derek Wayne knew what he wanted from day one. As long as I could remember, all I've ever wanted to be was a professional wrestler. Not just any professional wrestler. I wanted to be the best professional wrestler in the world. Nobody wanted it for me. Not my family. Not my friends. Not the teachers. Hell, all the religious people told me that I was the Antichrist. Because I wanted to be who I wanted to be. And I spent so many years of my life that I almost threw everything away for the sake of everybody else, until one day I looked myself in the mirror and I said, if you don't do it now, it'll never happen. The reason I hate everybody is because everybody hated Derek Wayne first. Even when I was trying to be likable, even whenever I was trying to be a nice person. You see, if they weren't completely crapping all over me, They were using me and they were sucking the life out of me until one day I said enough was enough. And I've been saying enough's enough for a really long time. Here we are. Next question.
Okay, Derek. Let's dive a little deeper into what you just said. You said your whole life, not one person has had your back in that regard. Nobody has said, "Yeah, go out and do it." Is that why you think it's more of a mission for you, or at least an obsession? Because it feels like an obsession at this point that you just want to. Your main thing is to get validation for all the people that told you no. All these actions are for some sort of validation.
Is it an obsession, or is this a guy taking what he deserves? I mean, you got to think of it that way too.
You know, you hit the nail on the head there, Eric Johnson. I don't need validation, because if I needed validation, I would have stopped what I was doing. If I needed validation, I would have never made it to where I was. It has nothing to do with validation, because I made it here and nobody wants me here still, which is okay with me. It's called having a mission that's higher than yourself. It's called having a calling. It's called being the one who brings things to an end. You see, in every story, there's always an end. I think it's Derek Wayne's job to bring that apocalypse. And here I am. I'm not here to build. I'm here to destroy. That's what I showed with the Plague of Corvus. That's what I showed when I went to war with Fight Society, even though I could give a damn what PWX stood for. I just figured, you know, they say brown nosing gets you somewhere, and that was about the only time that I did. It's funny because there's a lot of people who get what they want because all they do is bitch and bitch and bitch and get it.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it, EJ?
Could you shut up? Could you shut up? I'm talking.
Oh.
The fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter how much I complain about something. There's sometimes I'll say something's unjust. Yeah. But the thing is, you got to remember what Derek Wayne is. If Derek Wayne points something out, he's going to do something about it. I'm showing everybody how to do something about it. And everybody hates it. But guess what? I don't care about what anybody hates. I don't care about what anybody wants. It's all about Derek Wayne.
I'll tell you what, you did inspire me, which is what made me do my dumb decision in February, but it doesn't matter now. I'm the assistant.
Oh, hold up. It was a dumb decision? Is that what that was? Or did you know it was best?
It could have made me lose my career in professional wrestling.
Hold up. I wasn't done asking a question.
I'm sorry.
Remember, I got to look at you come my next time that I'm allowed in that building.
Okay.
See, the fact is, it's not that it was a stupid decision. They say it was a stupid decision. And you had an ounce of courage for 5 seconds. And then you hit your knees. You make me sick. You got to make up for that one. Not just to me, because I can give a damn. Make it up to yourself.
Yeah, I think the stupid decision on that one was getting caught there, EJ. And I'm not even part of whatever you guys got going on there. You made it blatantly obvious.
I mean, at that point, you kind of, it's out there now, right? I mean, what do you do? It's out there. Everybody knows what's going on. But at that point.
Now, Derek, since I got to ask, since we started bringing up some of your feuds that you've had, I would say that the reoccurring ones for you, obviously being Chris Killian, obviously with management, Stefan Devereaux, Aaron Lester, but you were in a location where you literally went after the spoils of war and got your sick kicks, as some would say. Your wars with people like R.K. Sawyer that I have noticed have changed your personality since the first time I saw Derek Wayne. What snapped in you during that rivalry?
What snapped in me? I don't know, man. I figured that I was just going to have to match what I was up against. I did unto others what he would have done. I did unto him what he would have done unto others, I guess is the best way to put that. Sorry. I'm just like looking back, and I'm looking back at all the memories here, and, you know, they're all disturbing for everybody else. It's all heartwarming for me, because if you think that was grotesque, if you think that was as far as a human being can go, you haven't seen anything yet. What I've got in store when I come back, I can guarantee a lot more violence. I can guarantee a lot more hate. And I can guarantee this is the end of everything that you know. Derek Wayne ain't coming back to say he's sorry. Derek Wayne ain't coming back anything less than the best. I'm coming back to take over. You see, it was a vision that I was trying so hard for R.K. Sawyer to understand, that thankfully Thunderbear was able to understand what I was saying. Again, somebody who did everything the way that everybody told him. And what did that get him? When he had a heart attack back in May, not a single damn one of those people who claimed to love and adore him reached out to him. Management didn't even reach out to him. I can tell you who did, though. That's the little part of the story that everybody seems to be missing. Derek Wayne reached out. Why do you think Thunderbear finally got the hint, when the only one who reached out to him is the most hated wrestler of the year? You see, we have a mission moving forward. A mission that apparently R.K. Sawyer was not smart enough to see. A mission that R.K. Sawyer, man, you know, I really can't blame him, because Lilith has a way with her magic. Lilith has a way. Lilith. You see, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All you people need to know about what's coming next is now the restraints are really off. I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose.
Derek, I just want to gloss over a few things real quick, being that we were on the Sawyer topic there, and we'll talk about Thunderbear a little bit more here in a second, because I do want to talk about that. Your rivalry, hold on, real quick. Your rivalry with Sawyer all culminated, but to a head with a very massive way, but that's not how it was in the beginning, right? I remember watching the videos that you two sent back and forth. You said at one point you admired Sawyer, that he gave you advice that really affected you. What happened? What ended up getting you to hate him to the point? Or would you say you don't hate him because the whole time you were torturing him, you said, I'm trying to help you?
It's because R.K. Sawyer became a lesser form of himself. You see, the R.K. Sawyer that we saw under the plague, under the powers of Lilith, that R.K. Sawyer was nothing more than background noise. The only thing scary about him was looking at his face, that he was next to harmless. Compared to the R.K. Sawyer that I remember when I was a referee, that R.K. Sawyer was a killer. The R.K. Sawyer that I came across, I wouldn't say he was nothing, because it wasn't exactly easy to put him down. And, you know, it took a little bit for me to finally get to him. But I just think that Lilith came in and capitalized on my biggest opportunity. And that, you know what? I'll take that one. That was one of my biggest failures. But it's okay. It's okay because I got Thunderbear, and you know what? Maybe this time things will be different. This time. This time coming back to PWX. Because the last time I came back after a nice little hiatus.
Which was your first suspension, was it not?
It was. It was. And it was stupid. That one, I can't tell which one's stupid. More stupid. The first suspension or the second suspension. Because the first suspension was literally me standing up for myself. And my second suspension, you know what really pisses me off about my suspension? The fact that I took matters into my own hands. But meanwhile, when TJ Sykes took his matters into his own hands, he was rewarded. He got to keep that number one contender shot that he got from, oddly enough, attacking me from the point that I was supposed to enter the Berg Brawl last year. Funny, that's right around the corner. Berg Brawl is right around the corner. And I remember last year, I was one of the last participants to enter the match. And out comes TJ Sykes. He attacks me, throws me off the stage, sidelines me from any other competition for the rest of the night. And they just let it happen. Meanwhile, I go after the tag team champions, get my number one contenders match in almost the same fashion, just a little bit different. And then that's the end of Eric Johnson. That's the end of Derek Wayne. Huh? Make that make sense.
It really doesn't. Like I said, it definitely seems that somewhere along the lines, you pissed off PWX management from the get-go. I can't say that what you're saying is not valid. I've seen things that don't make sense and seem like really weird coincidences. I don't know.
Coincidences.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call. See, this is why I like my new assistant CEO position. I like to be that voice of neutrality. You know?
The last time you and I came face to face, you were a lowly referee. Do not talk to me like you're high and mighty, like you're doing some kind of good work just because you begged on your knees for a position.
Okay, listen. All right. I know a lot of you guys, a lot of you people don't like me, but you are eventually going to have to learn to respect me. And that's just inevitably going to happen.
I respected you more before you begged like a bitch.
Oh, okay. Come on now, buddy. We're on. Come on now. I like you, Derek. Don't make me not.
In his defense, he did get you reinstated.
I just reinstated
no matter
you
what
live
thing,
on
he
air
did
here,
get
man.
you reinstated. I'm not trying to say, rekindle the bromance, but he did get you reinstated.
What the hell did you just call it? You call that a bromance.
I wouldn't call it, I wouldn't call it a bromance. I would call it a professional partnership.
It's called business. We did business. Something that a lot of people claim to know, but they seem to get business and personal mixed up. They're coming after me personally and trying to call it business, when really it's all personal. See, what I'm doing, what happened last month was business. I just think it's funny, Aaron Connors gets all the opportunities that he wants. William Renee, I remember one of his first matches, I beat him. Meanwhile, I'm fighting to stay in our shows half the time, up until I took out RK Sawyer, which again was absolutely necessary. And now we see why it's necessary. Because before that happened, Derek Wayne would pull up and wonder if he was even getting booked for the night. Meanwhile, William Renee was being fed to the main event. Why don't you tell me how that makes sense? I beat him. Why wasn't I in the main event first?
I can't explain that. Like I said, somewhere along the lines, it seems management took like a big no. I don't know. I can't say that it's not anything personal. I can't say that it is.
Maybe
I
if I
can't
was
say
a former
anything.
UCW guy, they would have treated me better. Actually, hold up. If you look at my debut, it was actually under the UCW banner, so that doesn't make sense either.
I did not know that actually.
That is
that
a
one.
fun fact right there.
Derek
That's
Wayne hitting
interesting.
me with something I didn't actually know. I thought I did my Derek Wayne research. I mean, I spent about a half hour trying to sift through the old pony jokes that other people had used, but I figured by now you'd be done with that one. Can you, real quick?
Well, yeah, I figured
we
by
have
now
to touch
everybody
on
would.
that.
I figured by now everybody would be done with the My Little Pony thing. I mean, it's almost more of an irritant now. It don't faze me. You think you people are hurting me? Quite frankly, the more you chant My Little Pony, it's not gonna piss me off, but I can tell you it's gonna hurt the people that you love and idolize. Because the more you chant that shit, I can tell you right now, I will think of more messed up things to do. That's who I am. You see, you people call me sick and twisted. But I seem to get what I want out of it.
You seem to be the most hated rookie of the year, too, doing that. I mean, something's working for you there, buddy. I wouldn't change anything you're doing.
I think that's the most interesting thing about you right now, Derek Wayne. Not only did you win an award, which means everybody hates you, and they voted that they hate you more than anybody else. They also showed respect for you in electing you as the Rookie of the Year, which last year, I believe, was Aaron Connors.
And he's one of the most likable guys on the roster right now.
Yeah, because he's the golden boy. Notice Aaron Connors can do no wrong. Left and right, I've seen this guy complain and get himself title matches. Meanwhile, I've been saying that I deserve a title and nobody wants to give it to me. Not that I feel it should be given to me. I feel like I've earned the opportunity. Matter of fact, the one match that I did have where I earned a number one contenders match, I got punished after I won it. Make that make sense. See, anybody around Derek Wayne, shut up. Anybody around Derek Wayne can do whatever the hell they want, and nothing's ever done about it. Some of them get reinstated and get rewarded for it. I'm just getting reinstated? Whatever.
Derek, this leads me to just what is the future? You're now with Thunderbear. You guys seem to be a cohesive unit. He believes and agrees with pretty much everything you say. What is the future for you and Thunderbear? What is going to happen?
You see, everybody seems to forget it. I can understand why after all the BS that happened after R.K. Sawyer returned and, kind of threw a wrench in my plans, but it doesn't derail me. It just kind of put a little speed bump, kind of slowing down some of it. But we're back on course this year, baby. 2023, the great work of Derek Wayne will finally come to fruition, and there ain't anything that anybody can do about it. I don't care if you're management. I don't care if you're on the roster. I don't care if you're the crowd complaining that you hate me that friggin' much that you want me gone. Obviously, if I didn't draw money, they wouldn't even bring me back. That's the thing. They don't want me to be big, but I'm so big and I'm so hot that they can't get rid of me right now. And they understand it as much as they hate that fact. It's true.
I don't hate the fact. That's why I just reinstated you.
Stop kissing my ass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, EJ, I would stop while you're ahead on that one. Derek,
you did a good job. You got me reinstated. Don't get ahead of yourself. I still don't like the fact that you begged and pleaded, because when's the last time you saw Derek Wayne beg and plead?
I don't think I ever have.
I have, but I'm not going to touch on that one because, again, we've talked
Oh,
about
really? When did I beg and plead, Kevin?
I do remember in your match with RK Sawyer, with I think it was you, RK Sawyer, and Gus. He had you by the back of the head, and you begged for about a second, and then you kicked him square in the family jewels, if I'm not mistaken. Was that a ploy? Are you not someone that keen to beg on a situation, but you will use it as a manipulative tactic?
Derek gets what Derek wants. The thing is that I really don't beg. I fear no man walking. And I think I proved that. Why would I beg? Let me ask you something. Why would I beg when the small amount of time that I probably would have, A, I didn't, B, even if I did, it never got me anywhere. I watch a whole lot of begging and bitching and whining and complaining, but nobody does it like Derek Wayne. And I'll keep it short and simple for you. What I do is not popular. It's not pretty. It's not flashy. I just come in, I kick your ass, and I take what I want.
Now, real quick, EJ, if you got any closing questions for Mr. Wayne here before we let him go, because I imagine you're a very busy man with all these plans that you
I
have
would
to
just
act.
like to think, like, as I reinstate you, are you actually going to respect your boss now?
This is part of that pushing, I would say, that you shouldn't have done.
Let me ask you something. Who's the guy ahead of you?
Well, there is one other in charge. His name is Aaron Lester, yes.
And have you seen how I deal with him?
You just don't care what he says.
You see, here's the thing. I understand the next strike that I have, I've been told I'll be fired. I got nothing left to lose. Here's the thing. I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. So I might heed a little bit of warnings. I might not go outside the box too much. But if you think Derek Wayne is coming back as some, oh, please give me my job back. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Please don't fire me, Aaron Lester. That's what they want. That's not what's going to happen. See, I'll be careful because I'm smart. But I ain't coming back with my hand out. I'm coming back with my fists taped because I plan on proceeding and taking what I want. Any other questions?
Just two last little questions from me. Derek, with everything that has happened in the last year for you alone, where is the end goal do you see yourself? As the proverbial chosen son at that point of yourself to be the champ to everything, or are you just on a mission to destroy everything?
I told you, I'm not here to build. If I was looked at as the Antichrist as a child, if I was treated like the Antichrist as a child, I think that was a path that I was predestined to be on. You know, for a while that used to bother me, and that's why I tried to do everything everybody else's way, but it never got me anywhere. But I noticed the more that I answer my calling, does that answer your question?
I mean, it does in some facets, and then others it leaves more questions to be asked for a future time after I see some more play out. But Derek, my only other question I would ask is what is your goal in terms of, do you, with the William Renee thing, you keep going after him saying that he may or may not be a member of management's son and getting proverbial treatment. Where does that leave you with them? Or do you just not care? You're just going to cause as much destruction at that point. He was just a pawn in the game of chess you're playing.
Was he a pawn in my game? No. He's just a thorn in my side. See, I have no intention on being anybody's white knight in shining armor. I have no intention on being anybody's chosen one. The only thing I was chosen to do was burn everything to the ground and piss on its ashes. That's who Derek Wayne is. William Renee, sometimes you got to poke the bear a little bit to bring out the best in him, because I like to bring out the best in my opponent before I shut him down. You see, I don't go after nobodies. I say things to specifically spark something in somebody. William Renee is starting to realize something in himself. I think he's far from arrived, though. See, all I am here to do is raise hell and destroy everything that's in my path. So if me calling out something that's going to put a divide in management, that's going to put a divide in the PWX master plan, then it's something Derek Wayne's going to do. Are we done?
I would say that's the time we have, Derek. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for a bit of insight into the psyche and the life of Derek Wayne.
Nah,
I feel that we've learned a lot. There's still a lot of questions that need to be answered, but that they won't be answered till moving forward. But I think I've learned a lot about the way Derek Wayne thinks in this interview.
yeah, no, I think we learned a lot, man. Derek, it was nice getting in your head, and I hope to work with you here the next year or two, hopefully many, many years to come. And I'm working on getting you a lot of opportunities. I'm working on getting a lot of you guys opportunities that I see. So don't worry about it.
But with
I'll
that,
keep that in mind.
but Derek, if you have any final words to say, anything you want to promote, anything you want to talk about, you got a couple seconds here before we go ahead and wrap it up.
What do I want to say? All I got to say is, since I've been reinstated, don't expect anything to change except for more hell, more chaos, more suffering. And if you think what I've already done is crazy, you ain't seen a damn thing.
All righty, that was Derek Wayne, everybody, our great guest here on episode 2 of Indy-Vision podcast. You can check out people like Derek Wayne. You can check out EJ on the next show presented by PWX, and that is going to be Starlight, Valkyries of Wrestling.
Yep,
That
it's
is
going to be a lot of fun that day on February 18th. Come see everybody like Vance Strader, our world champ Manic. You know, he's our hero champ. You see RK Sawyer and Lilith will also be there, according to the poster. You got Loverboy Lou. Everyone loves him. Lestat, Banana Man. Come check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And also the fabulous women that are on the Starlight shows. So everybody stay
Absolutely.
tuned and pick up your tickets on the PWX website.
This is Kevin and Eric, and we will see you later.
See everybody.